Hello everyone, it's Bacon Donut here, and I'm back with another Sky Factory tutorial. Yes, it's been way too long. Now, this one is a little bit different than my normal Sky Factory tutorials, and I'll explain what I mean. But if you want to know what Sky Factory is, or how to get the pack, go back and watch episode 1. Now, on my live stream, I've been doing something a little bit different with Sky Factory. I've twiddled with the configs a bit to get a different kind of playthrough experience that I've really been enjoying, and lots of people have been asking me how they can do that. So this is my tutorial to show you how to make Sky Crash Factory Landing. That's right, that's Sky Factory played in the style of Crash Landing. Crash Landing is an awesome mod pack that I highly recommend. It's available on the FTB launcher. Just Google FTB and you'll find that. It's Feed the Beast. It's on the third-party packs tab. Crash Landing is one that has the premise of you've crashed your spaceship on a desert planet and you have to survive, and there's a lot of harsh mechanics that make it difficult. And so what I wanted to do is see what Sky Factory would be like in a super flat desert kind of world, but without all the extra mods that make it extra challenging like Crash Landing does. So I pulled it off, and I've been having a lot of fun. So if you want to do that, here's how you do it. So right here, I've got the AT launcher and my instance here of Sky Crash Factory Landing. And if you are gonna play with this, I recommend making a new instance of Sky Factory. It's optional, you don't have to, of course, but if you go to packs, currently, at the time that I'm recording this, Sky Factory is the second from the top, but of course that's subject to change, and hit new instance and just call it, you know, something different and install it. That way your normal Sky Factory world isn't messed with at all, and you don't have to worry about there being conflicts or whatever. That's one of the beauties of using a launcher, is you can make as many different instances of the game as you want, and you don't have to affect the other ones at all. So make a new instance like I've done here, and then to make it work, if you want to live in a desert in Sky Factory, you have to change one of the config files. So here's how you get to that. We're looking at the instance tab. Right here, there's a button that says open folder. So I'm going to click that, and this is going to open up the folder on your computer where the game is installed. And you need to go to the config folder, which is right here, config. And if you're sorting alphabetically, the file we're after is going to be the very last one. Shut up, phone. Don't need your crap right now. So it's whyyouknowmakegoodmap.cfg. That file is for the mod that it's responsible for making the world void. That's what gives you the single tree and all that. So we're going to open this up, and we're going to tell it to give us normal overworld spawns instead of the void. And it should be pretty self-explanatory if you actually read this, but it's this one right here. It says, set to true to force the default world types to be void world. Use with caution. So when you install Sky Factory, this will be true by default, which means void by default. And so you can see here, I've changed it to false. So change it from true to false. And now if you do that, save the file, close and reopen the game if you have it open. If you do that, then when you make a new world, it's not going to be a tree in a void. It's going to be normal, plain old vanilla overworld, forests and deserts and swamps and the whole 9 yards, right? So yeah, so you want it set to false to get that far. And so then the next step you have to do after that is to make a super flat. So I'm going to go ahead and click play here to launch it up. And you can see over here it's loading. And the game is coming. Come on, give it to the mouse. Come on, there we go. Okay. So the second step is to get it the flat desert world, and Minecraft by default has a mechanic for that. That's the super flat presets world. So I made a special super flat preset specifically to pull this off. There it is. So here's, I'll put this in the description of the video too, but you can pause it and look at it if you want to type it that way. So it's basically all the stuff that makes the game normal vanilla overworld stuff, but the difference is we put in sand and gravel for the blocks. So let me show you how to do that. Go into single player, we're going to make a new world and more world options, and then the world type here we're going to choose superflat and then customize. So the way that I pulled this off, I went into presets and chose overworld. So choosing overworld is going to get you stuff like the strongholds to go to the end, and villages and dungeons and mineshafts and all that sort of stuff, right? And then the front part up here is where it tells you it tells it what blocks to use. So by default, it's got a layer of bedrock at the bottom, then a bunch of stone, 59 layers of stone, then 3 layers of dirt and 1 layer of grass. So I changed this so it's bedrock and then what? Hold on, where's my text file? Right there. 58 layers of gravel and then 4 layers of sand. That's what I changed it to. And when you do that, this is what you get. Let me show you. And if you've been watching my live stream, then you've already seen this. So this is what I call Sky Crash Factory Landing, and I've been playing at this for, I don't know, a week or so, so I'm fairly far along. I've got a bunch of automated stuff. We've got engines and AE, auto crafting, and automatic farms and mob farms and magical crops armor and all this sort of stuff. But the point is, the terrain is just a big desert, and you see lakes of water and of poop and of lava, and you also see big holes in the ground here where the gravel and sand fall into the mine shafts. So this is actually where mine shafts are, and it's pretty easy to find like dungeons as well. This right here, this is a dungeon. If I were to dig down here, what do we do? Let's dig down. Let's dig down. There we go. So this is a zombie dungeon, and if I were to dig over there, there'd be 2 chests right there too. So that's pretty cool. And there's tons of villages. If you just travel around, you'll see villages pretty much everywhere. And there's also lucky blocks everywhere too. As you travel, random lucky blocks will just be on the terrain sitting on top of the sand, and that leads to some fun as well. And that's pretty much it. And of course, you don't have to use my preset. You can edit it however you want it to be. And I ran into a bug that you should know about too. When doing the superflat config, the first thing I tried to do was to get the top layer to be dust instead of sand, because Crash Landing is made out of dust. Well, it didn't work because apparently in this version of Minecraft, it doesn't want to use a block ID in a preset that's higher than, I think, 250, or maybe it's 256, something like that. So the modded, the ID for dust is like 3001. So it doesn't want to use it. If you put 3001 in here as the block ID and then try to launch the game, it will crash. And so it's possible to do it, but what you have to do is change the item IDs. And so you're kind of on your own for that, but let me give you the basic idea. If you go back into the folder, into the config folder, many of the mods that are in here have item IDs that are configurable. So let me just pick one at random here. Ender.io config. Yeah, that's probably, here we go. See, in the Ender.io config file, for example, the very first section is block IDs. And so what you could do is go through the mods and find a mod that has a block ID that's below 250 and swap it for the item ID for dust, right? So what you would be doing is going into X Nihilo. Where is that at? There's Ex Aliquo. Oh, it's Crowley Skyblock. That's the one for Ex Nihilo. So here's the item IDs from Ex Nihilo, and here is the dust right here. If you get this item ID to be below 250, then it would work. I didn't bother doing that because we figured this out after I'd already made the world. So if you can find a free item ID that's not used under 250, or switch this item ID out with one from a different mod that's using one under 250, then you can get dust on top. I hope that made sense. Sorry I can't walk you through it because it's not something I've actually done, but I thought I'd pass it along there in case you felt adventurous. As always, make a backup of stuff before you start messing around with config files because you could drastically mess up your install, and that is why it's so good to make a new instance of Sky Factory before you start messing with stuff anyway. You don't have to worry about actually crashing your game that you're attached to or whatever. So I hope that was useful and fun, and feel free to tweet me pictures. My Twitter is listed up there. If you make your own Sky Crash Factory landing worlds, I would love to see them. And also, if you've been watching my live stream, you know that I've been at work on Sky Factory 2. Thank you for watching, guys. Hit the like button down below if this was useful. Subscribe to the channel and all that sort of stuff. Be sure to check me out on Twitch as well. Live streaming Minecraft almost daily, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye.